All right, so this video might be two videos, depending on the length. Will cover four different basic things, and I will have timestamps when those are discussed on the screen, as well as in the description, so you can jump back and forth to whatever you need. So we will go over the how to use all the hand-raising stuff, the chat, how to save it automatically, how to access it, also breakout room controls if people aren't automatically assigned, and the fourth and final thing, how to guarantee that people who are joining your meetings will be in their pre-assigned breakout rooms using authentication. That'll be last. So the first thing we'll do, because it is the easiest, is the hand-raising stuff. So on your Zoom profile page, the left-hand side, you have all your different options, and you can go to Settings. And once you click on Settings, it will generate this other smaller menu on the left, because there are about like 200 and some options here. So to navigate through them, go ahead and click on In Meeting, parentheses, Advanced. And when you click on that, it will automatically scroll you down pretty far. And then you just have to go back up about 7 little instances until you see non-verbal feedback. So this should be on by default, but it's good to check if students aren't able to raise their hands in your class. And this option is what allows people to raise their hand in your meetings and your webinars. So for me, this is on, and I couldn't even turn it off if I wanted to because it's locked by the Duquesne admin. But as a professor, I don't know if you have the option to turn this on or off, so you can check if you want. So as long as this is on, all of your meetings, webinars, students, participants will be able to raise their hands. And what that looks like is in your meeting, you're just going about teaching, talking, presenting as the host, and then you have the windows where your other participants are. I'm controlling these two participants on another computer. And so you're just speaking, and all of a sudden you will see a little yellow hand emoji pop up on one of the users, as well as this text box that will appear above participants that says they have their hand raised. And you can see this whether you are in the gallery mode, so the large images, or if you're in the speaker view where it's smaller up on the top. And so I can have the other participant raise their hand as well. And so now you can see at the bottom it says 2 participants raise their hands, and we also have the symbol on the left-hand side of the screen and right above their actual icon. So it really throws it everywhere at you to see it. And what you can do from here is you can, just ask them if they want to talk, or you can even go ahead and on their profile click Ask to Unmute, which for them will generate a box that says the host would like you to unmute and speak, and they can choose to click, unmute or no. And these will stay up there until you have either answered their question just by going through whatever you're talking about, or they've had the chance to speak. And when they are done, they can go ahead and click the raise hand button again, which I will do on these other computers, and it will just remove their hand. So it's very simple. It will appear for you, and when it does, not only is it going to say, have this hand symbol here on their picture and the dialog box on the bottom, but if you then click on participants, it will let you know who has their hand raised by having that yellow emoji symbol next to their name. And if I go and raise this other person's hand as well, now it has one for them as well. Okay, so I had to move myself because I was going to be in the way for the second thing, which is automatically recording chat, or how to manually do it if you want, and also how to access it. So the first thing you'll do is, again, start on your homepage, your profile. Go over to the left to Settings. And then at Settings this time, we will go to click on In Meeting Basic. And this will scroll us down directly to the part we need, which is auto-saving chats. So if you have this disabled, if it's grayed out, just go ahead and turn it on, little blue, and it'll say your settings have been updated. And so this will automatically save our chat. So as soon as we exit a Zoom meeting, it will pop up a little window for us that will have the chat dialog of that meeting saved. So this is what that is going to look like. So we'll go to our meeting, and we can chat here and ask everyone, how is everyone? So they can go ahead and respond to us, give us their thoughts about the world. And then we have 2 options. If we just ended the meeting right now, which I will do in a moment, it will generate the chat for us automatically because we chose to save it automatically in our profile. The other thing we can do is if you think you forgot that, or you want to be extra sure, or you know you didn't do that, then you can go to the bottom of this chat window and select this ellipsis, which will bring up a small menu, and you can click Save Chat. So again, you're looking at the chat, you go to the bottom of the chat window, click this ellipsis, and then click Save Chat. So that will save it manually, but it's also being saved automatically right now. So all that's going to happen is if you exit out or you just click End here, I'll end the meeting for all, and then you can see it automatically popped up this little window with my Zoom chat. And if you click on this document, it will have the timestamps, who said it, and what they said all to each other. And if you don't know where this is, or you close the window and you want to get back to it, the default path that where you're going to find those chat logs is in your File Explorer. You would just click on this PC, Documents, and it'll be right there in a Zoom folder. So again, in your File Explorer, it's this PC, Documents, and then it's right there in your Zoom logs. And it'll have a bunch of them, the most recent one being the video that I just made here. So that is chat, automatically saving, manually saving, and then accessing after the fact. All right, so I'm back in my comfy corner here, and we're going to go over breakout rooms. So how to yourself jump in between breakout rooms, how to assign all the students to different breakout rooms, and how to just generally manipulate them. So there are two potential starting points when you are in your Zoom meeting for breakout rooms. One is that you pre-made the breakout rooms. The second is that you haven't made any yet. So more commonly, when you've been in classes with me, you have your rooms pre-made, but since students didn't join with their email, they aren't in the rooms that you put them in. So if that is the case, this is what it will look like when you open up your breakout rooms. It will just say already room 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, however many you made in that CSV file, but you won't see any students in them, or you'll just see a few that use the proper email. So if this is the case, all you have to do to put Joe and Robin into their rooms is click Assign on the right-hand side. So if I want to put Joe in room 1, I just click Assign here, and then there's a list of all the available people to put in a room, and I just select Joe. He's in room 1 now. And then if I want to put Robin in room 3, I click Assign, and I put Robin in room 3. And you'll notice that it only lists available participants here, not all participants. So now that Joe is in a room, he's gone from the Assign menu. So I will assign Robin to room 3. What that means is that if I want to move the two of them, I no longer have the option to assign, because if I click Assign, it'll just say everyone's already in a breakout room. What I have to do now is move them. So moving is really simple. You just hover over their name and click Move To, and then select the breakout room to move them into. So I want to move Robin into Joe's room so they can chit chat. I'll go ahead and click on room 1. Or let's say Robin and Joe were two different team leaders, and I want to switch the group they're talking to. All I have to do is hover over Joe or Robin and click Exchange, and then select the other individual I want to switch them with, Robin, and that will then switch them. Also, while you're at this menu, because the rooms haven't been opened yet, this is just you formatting the breakout room, you have all of your options down here on the left about if you want them to be able to come back to the main session, or if you want them to be able to choose their breakout rooms, how long you want them to last, if there's a countdown, all that sort of stuff. So I'm not going to change any of that right now for my purposes. But once you're at this point, and you can set this all up while someone else is talking or presenting, and then just exit out of it because you might not need it right at that time. So you can just make a breakout room in preparation during downtime, and then later, let's say it's time to go into the breakout rooms, when you select it, it will be all ready with the rooms you made, and you can just go ahead and click Open All Rooms. And so once you open them, I will go Join for these two individuals. They will switch from not joined to their little green lights, which mean they've joined, and now you are the only one left in the main session. So once you're here, you'll notice that Assign has switched to Join in all these different rooms. And all you do to jump in between them is just click Join on the various rooms, so you can go through, talk to the students, see what's being discussed. Or if you want to say something to all of them, like remind them all of the question, you just click broadcast to all, and you can say whatever you want. And then for them, that will appear as a blue text box at the top of their screen to let them know what you just said to everyone in the meeting. And then once you're all done, you just simply close the room, and it will bring everyone back to this original page. So that is the process if you pre-made the breakout rooms, but not everyone is in them because they didn't use their email or new people joined that you didn't know about. What it's going to look like if you just started up a meeting spontaneously and you did not pre-make any breakout rooms is when you click on breakout room, instead of looking like this, it will look like this. So pretend this little background box is in here. You will just see this box with these 3 quick little options, and it'll say create instead of recreate. So all you do is choose your breakout rooms. You can make, I think, up to 10 or 15. So you just make your 4 here, however many you want, and then your few options if you want them to automatically go into the rooms, manually, or you want them to choose. So I'll just do manually for our purposes, and then you will click, it will say create. And now you are back at that same exact point you were before when you had pre-made the rooms. So again, if you haven't made any, when you click breakout rooms, it will look like this with this little window, the create window. If you have already made them but the students aren't in them, it will look like this. And then you just go assign and go through all the motions. So that's pretty generally how you use breakout rooms and all that functionality. If you have any specific questions about it, though, just let me know and I can definitely go over those. So this final thing, I think, is going to save the most headache, and this is a way to guarantee that everyone you have pre-assigned to a breakout room using the CSV file actually goes to that breakout room. And the reason that you, as it turns out, you cannot just click on the link through your Duking email is that you would need something called SSO, which isn't really important here, but basically the idea is it's called single sign-on, and once you're signed into your email, you're automatically signed into Zoom and Dory and Blackboard and all that stuff, but not everyone has that enabled, and we can't guarantee that they would. So the way to get around that is a really simple step on our part, where we are on our profile, and we just go to the Meetings tab on the left-hand side here, and then we choose the first occurrence of a particular scheduled meeting set. So this is just a stand-in for, let's say, our Thursday class, which happens, it's a recurring meeting, and this is just the first one. And so I want to go ahead and click Edit, and then Edit All Occurrences. So I'll make one change, and it will grandfather itself into all the others. So this is our meeting. And if you scroll down, you will be able to see that your breakout rooms are pre-assigned. And I know they're pre-assigned because last time we were in class, a few people did go right to the rooms you pre-assigned. So if you want, you can look at it. You'll see the rooms you had pre-assigned. The emails are all in there from the CSV file. So from something like this into your pre-assigned breakout room, that's all fine. You don't have to change anything there. All you have to do is check one box, and the box you have to check is under security, and it is require authentication to join. So check this, so it is selected, and it will say require authentication to join, sign into Zoom. All this is going to do is mean when students click the link to get to class, they will now have to sign on to their account to get into Zoom. And this is really not prohibitive at all. I will show you what it looks like from a student's perspective to do this, and it will then guarantee they go right into the room you made for them. And just to show you this, I will go ahead now and save this meeting, and then I will start it. And I'm going to start this meeting and launch it from my computer here, and then I'm going to join in from the other 2 users that I have. I'm going to speed this up as I'm joining in from them. Okay, and so you saw in real time as I had these other 2 users join, they did the sign on, and now, without doing anything else, if I click breakout rooms, they're already in there. So Joe is already in room 1, Robin is already in room 2, and because they're both pre-assigned like we had with our CSV file, and I had authentication sign on. So now quickly, I will just show you from a student's perspective what that sign-on looks like, just so you know it's not difficult or prohibitive for them. So now that if you want to go that route and you do the authentication sign-on for a Zoom meeting, then all that's going to happen is the students have the normal email, just like this, or whoever you're sending it to when it comes out, and they have this link, and they're just going to go ahead and open the link however they would normally join into a Zoom meeting. But now, when they click open link and they actually launch the meeting, they'll be prompted and it'll say this meeting is for authorized attendees only, and then all they have to do is click sign in to join. And at this point, if they were using something like Gmail or a different service, you can just sign in here. But since we have what I mentioned earlier, just very briefly, the Duquesne SSO single sign-on, our students with Duquesne emails that you pre-signed would just click sign in with SSO, type in DUQ, continue, and then it will generate for them this Duquesne page. And they'll be able to do this because this is what they use for, email, Blackboard, Starfish, everything. And all they have to do is click log in, and they are now in the Zoom meeting properly assigned. So they will automatically be in the appropriate breakout room. So that is personally how I would go about fixing that issue. If you just add that authentication, and then I can quickly, if you want, tell students how to use the SSO or sign in. I mean, literally all they have to do is click the SSO, type in DUQ, and then they're off to the races. And that way it makes it a lot easier on you. But that's just one way to go about fixing that.